Yo, what is going on, my Magic Knights? It is your boy Lota here, back with another Black Clover mobile video, and man, does it feel good to be back. Season 5's right around the corner. You already know your boy's gonna be dropping mass Season 5 videos. This is the perfect time to be coming back with consistent uploads. Gonna be doing weekly streams as well, considering that, as you guys can see, I need to grind my account up. We're behind in story right now, and I need to be doing a lot more things. But let's leave that for the weekend streams. Today we're going to be talking about the Season 5 unit, Season 5 Charlotte, and Season 5 Magna, and what you guys should be doing about Season 5. So, before we get started, as always, please make sure to like and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated and it helps me out with my content because it lets me know that you guys are enjoying my content. And leave a comment down below if there's anything you would like to see me cover or something I could do better. But with that being said, let's get into the video. Now, there are quite a few things we need to talk about here. So, first off, we're going to be talking about Charlotte, then we're going to be talking about Magna. So, off rip, Char is going to be a green support unit. Now, she's probably one of the most nuttiest support units, as you can see, still holding a S+ in KR and JP. And KR and JP are about Season 10, so she's still being used till this day. And she's coming out in Season 5 of Global, so that's going to be almost 5 to 6 seasons of relevance for this character, so she does not fall off in the slightest. So if you're looking for a character that you know will not be falling off anytime soon, go for Charlotte. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into her kit. So on her skill 1, she's going to be granting a SP+1 buff to the ally with the highest attack, meaning that obviously your main DPS is just going to be getting an extra skill point every time she attacks. Nothing too crazy, but pretty useful. Not gonna lie, it's gonna help you refresh that ult a lot quicker. Her skill 2 is going to be granting a designated ally a SP+2 buff, so just going to be more skill point refresh. Grants a designated ally debuff immunity for 1 turn, which is going to be pretty useful as well. And a 40% chance to reduce her own skill 2 cooldown by 1 turn, which is also going to be extremely useful, because that's going to make you turn that 3 turns into 2 turns, which is going to be allowing her to get back up to the plate with her skill 2 a lot quicker to refresh more skill points and the debuff immunity. So we like that a lot. Now, her ultimate is going to be giving all allies a 30% reduced damage taken buff for 2 turns. I'm pretty sure at max level, this is a 45% reduced damage taken buff, so this is extremely nutty. You're going to be almost taking no damage, keyword almost. Obviously, we have some pretty powerful attackers like Black Austin with anti-magic and shit, but yeah, so this is going to be extremely nutty. You're going to be seeing this all over the place. I'm pretty sure this is where you're going to be seeing that big meta of 45% reduced damage taken. This is going to be very irritating, but obviously I'm going to be showing you guys to play around it. It's also going to be granting a defense penetration level 3 buff to the ally with the highest all attack for 2 turns. And if an ally has a barrier on, it's going to grant them an extended barrier duration by 1 turn. So it's going to be allowing your barrier to stay up for another turn, which is pretty useful. Speaking of barriers, her combined skill is going to be giving the partner mage 100% of own max HP as a barrier for 2 turns. So I'm pretty sure that's about 120k bare minimum for a barrier on one of your teammates, which is extremely useful. And while we're on the topic of barriers, if all allies belong to the sense attribute, aka green, at the beginning of the battle grants all allies 80% of own max HP as a barrier for 1 turn. So that means you're going to have barriers at the start, which is when you're going to be seeing mono green start making its appearance in the meta, because mono green with Char is extremely powerful. Now let's go ahead and talk about our dupes. LR+2, every turn grants the ally with the highest all attack a barrier equal to 50% of own max HP for 2 turns. And then at max dupe, she's going to be granting herself taunt immunity for the entirety of the match, meaning that she will not be able to be taunted, which is going to be extremely useful. Now, for teams for our girl Char, we're going to be using, let me pull it up. We're going to be using a mono green team. So for mono green, you can use Mimosa. She's going to be a pretty strong healer because, after all, there are a few squishy green units, so having some healing to balance that out alongside a revive will be pretty useful. We are obviously going to have our boy Voltos. Now, Voltos is a universal unit for green, extremely well in just magic buffing and getting your team up to the plate regardless. Now, obviously, you can replace Voltos with another character, something like, you know, potentially Hatred Fauna when she comes out, but alongside that, Radius is going to be useful, get more barriers up, which is going to play into Char already having extra barriers, so you're just going to see a shit ton of barriers. Now, only issue with this is that obviously you will be seeing a lot of barrier removal which is expected, obviously, especially since we're coming up on the season where this unit quite literally gives the team a full-on barrier. Tack that on with radies, extra barriers, almost like what, give or take 180, 200k of a barrier. Yeah, you're gonna be wanting barrier removal units. So while he will still be extremely good, obviously you're gonna have to pick and choose your fights with him, and there are gonna be people mainly poking at you knowing that they'll be able to take your barrier away with radies. So that's why I usually don't always recommend radies, but I still think he's a pretty solid pick regardless. Now obviously Swimsuit Yuno is going to be extremely useful as well. Another just a green unit. He's a pretty easy debuffer, you know, reduced mobility on his skill 1, reduced attack on his skill 2, AoE as well. And then for his ultimate, we're going to be getting incapacitate and concentrated attack. So he's going to be dealing extra damage if it was a crit attack. As you can see, my Swimsuit Yuno personally isn't up a lot, but he came out during an event, so everyone should have got him for free. And if you didn't get him for free, there's a chance that you might get him when pulling on Season 5 banner regardless. So, yeah, there's that. So, you can go ahead and run these green units with Char. Any one of these units will work, obviously. There's going to be some swap in and swap out when meta starts changing. But this is kind of the gist of the units you would like to run with her. Almost any mono green will work with her. Just make sure that you have a pretty stacked attacker, you know. I'm not too sure about this, don't take my word on it, but I think maybe you can use Raya with the team. I don't know too much about that though, because like I said, there will be a green fauna coming out, so you'll probably just want to use that green fauna instead. But yeah, so like I said, Radies, keep in mind, he's solid, not go-to. Mimosa is kind of go-to in my opinion, and same with Baltos. Now, let's go ahead and talk about our boy, Magna. Alrighty. So for Magna, he's just going to be a red attacker, nothing too crazy. He's going to be really playing into the burn side of things. So his skill 1 is going to be inflicting burn guaranteed, nothing too crazy. As I said, you're just going to be seeing a lot of burn. As you can see, this is basically copy and paste across his entire kit. Regardless though, it's just going to be guaranteed burn on everything, and if an enemy's already taking continuous burn damage and inflicts it for even more, it increases the amount of time. Same with his skill 2, it's just going to be another extremely nutty burn. Now the enhanced version, if you can get his skill page, which you should probably get his skill page, it's just going to inflict block HP recovery to an enemy for 2 turns, which is going to allow them to basically not heal. Now his ultimate is extremely good. So for his ultimate, it attacks after removing an enemy's barrier, which means he's stripping an enemy barrier, like we just stated in the mono green. For every instance of continuous burn damage an enemy is taking, attacks after granting a 40% increased damage dealt buff, and grants an extra turn upon killing an enemy. So you're really wanting to buff him up enough to where he gets that kill before you all, so that you can go once more. His combined attack is just going to be stripping an enemy of its barrier, like I already said. His unique passes at the start of the battle inflicts continuous burn damage on all enemies for 2 turns, and his LR pass is actually going to play extremely well into his dupe passives. Now, if you can get him to LR plus 2, which is where you're going to be seeing like use for him, I personally recommend, if you are willing to go in for a burn team, I strongly suggest trying to get him 2 duped, because 0 dupe Magna just isn't that good for PvP. I mean, he's alright, I guess, for a PvE burn team, but PvP-wise, I feel like you need 2 dupes, because you're going to be getting a stun every time you attack someone with burn, so that's going to give basically him a stun master. The stun master name, right? He's going to be stunning almost everyone he attacks, regardless. You can get... I've seen people get like 3 stuns with him in a single run because of them speed blitzing with him, so it's extremely nutty. Now for his LR plus 5, upon attacking an enemy taking continuous damage, you're also going to be getting the stun status element as well, but you're going to be applying stun immunity to yourself permanently, which is going to be countering, you know, like an enemy Magna trying to stun you or Mars trying to stun you, which is extremely nice. Now, for his teams, we're obviously going to be talking about the pretty expected teams for him. So, where's my team at? Here we go. So, this is kind of something you can run. Like I said, do whatever you want. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's your account. I'm just here to give you the most optimal routes. Okay, so for barrier removal, We can obviously run this Season 4 Noelle. If you do not have the Teacher Shard, then you can run Season 4 Noelle. That's what I've personally been told. If you have Teacher Shard, I'm pretty sure it's worth using her over Noelle. Or if you get lucky and you also get Season 5 Shard, you can run Season 5 Shard and Magna together. I heard they are pretty good side and side. Now, obviously, you're going to be wanting another burn unit on this team for the extra burn damage and extra burn procs. So someone like Teacher Fuegoleon's going to be extremely good. You should have gotten him during Season 3 as well. Or someone like Charmy, which right alongside Noelle, she's going to be extremely useful with Magna. She's going to be proccing a lot more burn, which is just going to be helping Magna out a lot more with getting stuns, as if he wasn't already doing it, because a lot of his kit is single target as well. So she's just going to be giving you more burn coverage across the round. Now, there are some future units that you'll be able to use with the Magna. So, for example, you are going to be able to use someone like Mara Leona. She's going to be extremely good with Magna. In fact, I'm pretty sure she's carrying burn right now on her back. So Mara Leona actually activates, Fuegoleon Teacher to be extremely high. She's going to allow Magna to not be so squishy, which is his main issue, is he's kind of just a squishy unit. There are better burn units than him, which is why you see some people going around saying it's not really worth it. And I'll be talking on that a little bit later. But regardless, like I said, there will be Hatred Fauna, who is an extremely good burn unit. There will be Mary Leona, who is extreme good burn unit. So it's all up to you at the end of the day. If you can get a Magna and some dupes when pulling for, maybe Char, good on you. You have that extra burn unit. And if you really like Magna, then you can, maybe find something else to pair him with. But realistically, it's not the smartest decision as a free-to-play. Now, should you be pulling for these units? As a free-to-play, realistically, it's up to you. I'm going to put it like this. As a free-to-play, your number one goal should be trying to get units that survive as long as possible. You don't want to be pulling for a unit that dies off almost immediately, because obviously you're not paying for gems. You're not paying to have gems almost immediately for every single banner run. So that's going to affect you a lot, but we can obviously do something to counteract that. So Charlotte, if you really are adamant about being free to play on this seasonal banner, and as in you do not want to pull like at all, Gateway Char, if you buy the battle pass, use the battle pass to get her skill page, safe, because I'll be making another video tomorrow about the rest of the units that are coming out in Season 5, which will be piggybacking off of this statement as well. So if you're free to play all the way through this banner, just Gateway Char. Magna's not going to hurt you to lose out. Like I said, you're going to be having other burn units coming out that are better than him regardless. Now, if you are free to play, willing to put some pulls into this banner, that's great. So if that's the instance, then you're going to be hoping for some Charlotte dupes. Char dupes are going to be extremely well, because they're going to turn her from a pretty good unit for about, maybe a season or two to a future-proof unit for about 5-6 seasons worth of usage. So, like I said, this right here, Charlotte, is a extremely good investment if you're free to play. You're going to be seeing the long-term usage of her regardless, so you're not going to be feeling like you're missing out on investing into this unit, or you're not going to be feeling like you messed up investing into this unit because now you're broke and now she just fell out of meta. Kind of like how Licht and Raya were at the start of the game. A lot of free-to-plays didn't know Licht and Raya would fall out. They fall out within literally 2 weeks and everyone was tilted. Like I said, guys, pay attention to content, pay attention to JP meta. It's also going to be giving you guys an extremely good lookout on what units that are coming out currently on global, what their future usage will look like. But like I said, till this day, even on Season 10 in JP, Char is still being used. Magna, not so much. Magna is currently being ran right alongside Mary Leona in very niche times, because like I said, there are better burn units than him. Mary Leona can make Magna work a lot better in future seasons, but I think on drop, Magna's just not that great. because there are already going to be counters. When Magna dropped, we didn't have Black Asta on here. We have Black Asta on here now, right? You know, we have things like Witch Queen coming out. So that's my opinion on it. If you're free to play, Gateway, Char. If you're free to play, willing to put some dupes in, hope for some Char dupes. But that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching the video. Like I said earlier, please make sure to like and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. It helps me know what to upload. I will be dropping a Season 5 spending guide for my wells out there. And I will be dropping another video tomorrow on Witch Queen, Hatred Fauna, and Mary Leona. With that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace, everyone.